Hello everyone, it's day 16, it's me, Matt, it's the Explorer's Box. Today is going to be the start of a two-parter. I'm going to be showing you how to make a really nice, fancy leather pouch. As I'm sure you're well aware, every adventurer and explorer needs loads of room to store all of their gubbins. Yes, we've got a box, but this is going to be full of all of the useful things that I've made. So, of course, you're going to need another pouch for resources and money and all those other things that we've mentioned previous pouches could hold.
Moss. Pebbles. What about
Twigs.
shiny little bits of metal?
Shells? Yes. So without further ado, let's get cracking. What are we going to need, I hear you say? Well, leather, obviously, as a start. I've got some offcuts. They've got a bit of work on them that we need to remove, but that can be removed with alcohol. I've got a pattern. I've got a block, which I've made the size I want my pouch to be. This is entirely optional, but I found making a solid piece the internal size you would like something to be, however you make it, is really, really useful. We're going to want some nice thin leather that we can sew with. We're going to want some embroidery floss, but probably not those colours. And then all the other things that I've put on screen now that I've already forgotten, because that's such a useful way of showing what we need. So I'm going to dive right in because we've got plenty to do today. The first thing you'll want to make is your pattern. Like I said, I've got a little block that I use to make mine. Mainly I use this for wet moulding leather, but in this case we're just going to use it as the internals. So I've made up a net, basically by folding paper over a form and making sure there's enough tabs that it's closed in all areas. And then made a sort of nice lid shape. I'm doing this as a one piece, so it's all out of one bit of leather, and then we add the straps and the fastening section. But you could do it in two sections. You know, this piece could be one that gets attached to another one if you've only got small bits of leather to use. The lids could be, if it had a tab there, that could be a third piece. There's loads of ways to do it. And like I say, I'm not going to show you pattern making because generally it's sort of personal preference. So I'm going to lay this on the back of my leather and I'm going to draw it out. Here you go. Once you've drawn out your pattern, you're going to want to cut it out. That is the main body all done. The only downside about cutting on the back face is I can never tell if this side's going to be perfect, but it's looking pretty good. You'll notice I haven't done any of my usual rivet holes. I'm going to try something clever this time. We'll see if it works. I might amend the pattern and then say you should definitely do rivet holes in it like usual, but we're going to see. I'm just going to test it on the block, just sort of hold it in place, make sure it all looks as I imagine it to be. This bottom flap will go underneath, but for now it's on top. That's all looking good. Lid goes over like I want it to. Cool. Next, what we're going to want to do is the fun, interesting bit. We're going to want to design the pattern that's going on top. I've got some thin beige leather that I'm going to cut into a nice pattern. We're going to glue it on and then we're going to sew it down with some nice looking thread. That's the plan. So I've designed the little ornate pattern I want to have on the front, and it's actually going to incorporate the strap that we have coming down. So I'm going to have to make the strap and the little clasp the strap goes into in veg tan leather, because I need a leather that's not going to stretch. So that I'm going to dye in a different colour. Basically, this just means I'm going to cut out the veg tan and the nice decorative leather all in one go, and we're going to have a big pile of all the bits we're going to use. Let's cut those out and then reassess where we are. I've just cut the little slot for the strap to go through, and I've just used the hole punch to make the ends of that slot circular, so there's no chance of it tearing. So that's what it's going to look like. And then I'm just going to pop 2 rivets in to keep it secure. They will be hidden underneath the nice decorative piece, but they'll be there. So there we have our nice first decorative piece done. I've just put this roughly back together again because I needed to check what I was doing with the fastening section, but now I'm going to cut this bit out of veg tan, and then we're going to go on to the back straps. Now I'm just going to do the back straps. And these 2 straps are going to end up going like that. I believe we've got all the bits cut. Now I'm just going to dye the veg tan. I'm going to be using embroidery floss to sew the whole bag together. That's why we've got no rivet holes. And I'm going to dye all the veg tan in a similar-ish colour. So let's see how that goes. So I'm going to let that dry. It's going to probably change colour quite a bit, and then I will be back with you to go over what we've done today. So that's us done for day 1. We've got all of our pieces cut out and they are ready for hole punching and sewing tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. Bye!